Hey there Nikki fans, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the exciting world of Goddess of Victory Nikki, where we'll be ranking over 60 Nikkis from best to worst. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or just starting your journey, this tier list will help you build a powerhouse team that can dominate in the current meta. With Shift Up rolling out new units each month, things can get a little crazy, but don't worry, we've got you covered. Now, if you've been keeping up, you know March was a big month. We welcomed the fierce SSR D Killer Wife on March 7th, and then two fan favorites from Zero, Amelia and Rem, along with the adorable SR Ram on March 21st. The roster is always changing, so stay tuned as we break down which characters are rising to the top and which ones might be gathering dust in your inventory. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's jump right into the tier list for October 2024. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm characters in Goddess of Victory NIKKE. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Idol Flowery, Idol Ocean, Product 08, Soldier OW, Product 23, Soldier FA, Idol Sun, Product 12, and Soldier EG. Alright, let's dive into the world of Goddess of Victory NIKKE and take a closer look at the D tier units. Now, these characters might not be the stars of your team, but don't underestimate their role in your journey. They're like the trusty sidekicks who fill the gaps while you're on your way to unlocking those more powerful heroes. As a player, you'll find that these units are super beginner friendly, making them great for those just starting out. But let's be real, once you start unlocking some of the better characters, these D tier units will quickly find themselves on the bench. While they can help you get through the early stages of the game, they serve mainly as placeholders in your lineup. Think of them as the training wheels of Goddess of Victory NIKKE. They can hold their own for a little while, but once you start pushing for higher ranks, you'll definitely want to swap them out for stronger options. After all, it's all about building the best team possible, right? So, if you're looking to climb those ranks and showcase your true potential, it's time to bid farewell to our D tier friends. But hey, they had their moment in the spotlight, and every hero has to start somewhere. Keep an eye out for those powerful characters waiting in the wings, and soon you'll have a squad that's ready to take on anything the game throws your way. And remember, if you're curious about other games with similar mechanics, check out the tier list for Disney Mirrorverse. There's a lot to explore out there. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Anka, Emma, Aoife, Exia, Freema, Mary, Mika, Pascal, Ray, Rosanna, Belorta, Delta, Iunhua, Himeno, Signalo, Uni, Brid, Crow, Julia, Mihara, and Rapi. Alright, let's dive into the C tier units of Goddess of Victory NIKKE. So, picture this: you've powered through the early game, breezed past those initial challenges, and now you're ready to build your ultimate squad. But hold on, before you start loading up on C tier units, let's talk about what they really bring to the table. Spoiler alert, it's not much. These characters are like that one friend who always shows up to the party, but just hangs out in the corner, you know? They're not bad, but they don't add much to the vibe once the excitement kicks in. Now, don't get me wrong, every unit has its moments, especially if you're just starting or still figuring out your strategy. But if you've got access to those shiny SS, SA, or B tier units, you might want to save your resources and effort for the heavy hitters. The C tier characters can feel a bit lackluster as you progress, and honestly, you'll find that they just can't keep up with the faster paced demands of mid to late game content. It's like trying to keep up in a race with a tricycle when everyone else has turbocharged bikes. So, if you find yourself short on better options, go ahead and deploy these C tier units to fill in the gaps. But once you snag some of those top tier characters, it's time to let the C tier units rest on the bench. They're not the MVPs of your squad, and while they might have a few tricks up their sleeve, they won't be winning any championships anytime soon. Keep your eyes on the prize, and remember, it's all about building the best team possible in Goddess of Victory NIKKE. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Jackal, Ludmilla, Milk, Misato Katsuragi, Neon, Ram, Soda, Rupee Wintershopper, Yan, Anis, Makima, Nero, Nihilista, Red Hood, Sin, Viper, Neon Blue Ocean, D, Epinal, Haran, Isabel, Kilo, Query, and Vesti. Alright, let's dive into the B tier characters of Goddess of Victory, Nikki. Now, while these units may not quite match up to the heavy hitters in the higher tiers, they still bring some unique strengths to the table. Think of them as that reliable friend who might not be the star of the show, but always knows how to lend a hand when you need it. They're perfect for rounding out your team and can really help enhance your chances of snagging those sweet victories. What makes these B tier units so interesting is their versatility. They might not have the same overwhelming power as their S and A tier counterparts, but they come equipped with skills and abilities that can really surprise your opponents. Whether it's providing solid support or dealing decent damage, these characters can shine in the right situations. Plus, with a little strategy and teamwork, you might just find that they can pull off some impressive plays that keep your opponents on their toes. So, if you're just starting your journey or looking to optimize your roster, don't overlook these B tier gems. They might not be the flashiest, but their contributions can make a big difference. With the right team composition and some clever tactics, you can definitely turn the tide in your favor. Remember, it's not just about having the best characters, it's about how you use them. So get out there and show off what these B tier units can really do. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Coco, N102, Pepper, Ade, Ade, Admi, Aria, Bay, Senti, Kele, Diesel, Folkwang, and Miracle Fairy, Noah, Quincy, Rupee, Drake, Snow White, Innocent Days, Laplace, Maiden, Neve, Power, Soline, and Trony. Absolutely, let's dive into the amazing characters in Goddess of Victory Nikki. When it comes to building your team in this fantastic game, you can't go wrong with some of the super rare and super rare characters from the A tier. These characters bring a wealth of skills and abilities that can really elevate your gameplay. Whether you're tackling tough missions or just trying to complete daily quests, having at least one SR or SSR character can make a world of difference. They not only pack a punch with their firepower, but they often come with unique skills that can help you strategize and outsmart your enemies. So, if you're considering re-rolling, definitely aim for these stars. But what makes these A tier characters so special? For starters, their versatility in combat is unmatched. They excel in both offense and defense, allowing you to adapt to any situation that arises in battle. Plus, they often have stunning designs and engaging backstories that add a little extra flair to your gameplay. You'll find yourself wanting to know more about their personalities and the roles they play in the overarching narrative of the game. It's not just about their stats, it's about forming a connection with these characters. And let's be real, who doesn't love having a stellar team? With A tier characters in your arsenal, you'll not only improve your chances in battles, but also enjoy the game even more. So, if you're looking to maximize your potential in Goddess of Victory, Nikki, don't sleep on those SR and SSR characters. Trust me, once you experience their powers firsthand, you'll wonder how you ever played without them. Keep your eyes peeled for those awesome pulls, and happy gaming! The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Mary Bay Goddess, Freema, Mika Snowbody, Miranda, Moran Begins, Red Hood, Sakura, Zwei, Diesel, Eleg, Guilty, Mast, Novel, Poli, Tubi, A2, Emilia Guillotine, Sugar, and Yulha. Absolutely. Let's dive into the exciting world of Goddess of Victory, Nikki. When we talk about S tier characters, we're diving into a league of extraordinary units that can truly dominate the battlefield. These characters stand out not just for their power, but also for their versatility. You'll find that S tier units are capable of overpowering nearly every other character in the game, with the rare exception of those elusive SS tier legends. So, if you're looking to boost your roster, these are the heroes you want to focus on. Remember, upgrading them as much as possible is key. Don't skimp on those resources. Now, let's not forget the importance of gear. Equipping your S tier characters with the best gear available is like giving them a turbo boost. The right equipment can turn a solid character into an absolute powerhouse, making them nearly as robust as SS tier units. So, whether you're raiding dungeons or facing off in PvP, maximizing their potential will ensure you're always a step ahead of your competition. Just imagine the thrill of unleashing their full capabilities and watching them shred through enemies. There's nothing quite like it. So gear up and get ready to make those S tier characters shine. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Alice Wonderland, Bunny, Exia, Noise, Rapunzel, Volume, Helm Aquamarine, Anatomarine, Biscuit, Dollar, Leona, Marciana, Rem, Viper, Ein, Helm, Helm, Laplace, Privity, Unkind Maid, Rei Ayanami, Sakura Bloom in Summer and Scarlet. Now let's talk about the S+ tier characters. These units are the cream of the crop, the ones you absolutely want on your team if you're looking to dominate in battles. They bring some serious firepower to the table, dishing out massive damage that can wipe out enemies before they even have a chance to retaliate. Seriously, you could clear content in record time with these powerhouse characters. If you're aiming for guaranteed wins in this RPG, you'll want to invest your resources into leveling them up. What makes them so special, you ask? Well, each S+ tier character has unique abilities and synergies that make them stand out from the rest. Whether it's their skill set, their damage output, or how they complement other team members, they have what it takes to turn the tide of battle in your favor. So, if you've got any of these characters in your roster, don't hesitate to upgrade them. Trust me, you'll see a significant boost in your performance. And remember, this isn't just about collecting the coolest characters, it's about creating a well-rounded team that can tackle any challenge. So, get those S+ characters to their max potential and watch as you steamroll through enemies like they're nothing. You'll be wondering how you ever played without them. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Dorofei, Rouge, Tovor, Dasil Tove, Blanc, Mari Makinami, Illustrious, Rosanna Shikoshin, Atka Shikinami, Langley, Ludmilla, Winter Owner, Maxwell, Modernia, Noir, Snow White, Soda Twinkling Bunny, and Annie Sparkling Summer. Alright folks, let's dive into the S++ tier characters in Goddess of Victory, Nikki. If you're looking for the absolute best units to dominate the game, these are the ones you'll want to have in your arsenal. Trust me, having S++ tier characters is like having a cheat code in your back pocket. You'll be breezing through missions, taking down tough bosses, and just generally feeling like a total powerhouse. Now, what makes these characters so special? For starters, they come packed with top-notch abilities that can turn the tide of battle in your favor. Whether it's dealing massive damage, providing essential support to your team, or just being super versatile, these characters have it all. Plus, their unique skills synergize incredibly well with one another, so you can create some insane team compositions that will have your enemies shaking in their boots. So, if you're lucky enough to pull an S++ tier character or unlock one through gameplay, don't hesitate. Level them up, gear them properly, and watch them shine. They're not just good, they're game changers. And remember, while it's fun to experiment with different units, always keep an eye out for those S++ tier gems because they'll help you conquer even the toughest challenges the game throws at you. Happy gaming! The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, D-Killer Wife, Lita, Tia, Crown, Nahayat Crown, Naga, Alice, Red Hood, and Scarlet Black Shadow. Killer Wife. This gal is a hidden gem among the Elysian units, standing out as a real contender in the meta DPS arena. With her sniper rifle, she packs a punch when it comes to burst damage in PvE. Plus, she brings a new flavor to the game with her pierce damage, which is a solid buff, though I'll admit, it's a bit niche for sniper rifles. Now, if you're looking to maximize her cooldown reduction, you might have to invest a little more into her S2, but trust me, it's worth it. Just remember, her ATK buff is caster specific, so pairing her with an OL for those sweet extra base stats can make a big difference. But hold up, there are a few caveats. One of her burst skill components relies on hitting parts and needs a core to work its magic. Oh, and don't forget, you'll need at least one max ammo from OL gear or wingman at level 7 to keep those S2 triggers flowing smoothly. So yeah, she may not be your, but Killer Wife is definitely worth considering for your squad. Let's talk about Lita. Seriously, this character is on another level. She's got the best burst eye skill since the game launched, and when it comes to buffing your team, she's second to none. I mean, not only does she repair your team's covers, but she also boasts one of the highest attack buffs in the game. And let's not forget about that burst cooldown reduction. It's like she's constantly giving your squad a fresh lease on life. Sure, there's a quirky downside. She's an old lady who looks like a child, and her kit is so packed that replacing her feels nearly impossible. But if you can manage to overlook her limited range and damage as an SMG unit, you're in for a treat. Lita's skill 1 gives you 80k critical damage and max ammo buffs, making her the ultimate support character. If you combine that with her insane burst attack buff, you'll be wrecking enemies left and right. Honestly, since the game's launch, no one has come close to her insane capabilities. So, if you're looking for a character that truly stands out, Lita is your girl. Alright, let's dive into Tier from Goddess of Victory. Nikki. Tier is an absolute powerhouse who brings a unique attack damage buff that's hardly ever diluted. Think of it as a supercharged multiplier that boosts your damage output like crazy. What's even better is her ability to grant an independent shield with every burst cycle, letting your team dodge those nasty attacks repeatedly. She's pretty self-sufficient too, with multiple recovery skills like cover and lifesteal, plus she can taunt enemies away from your more vulnerable units, keeping your team safe. Tia's also got that cool re-enter burst stage I trait, which is perfect for generating above average burst damage, especially in campaign where she's less affected by enemy distance. Now, while she pairs exceptionally well with Naga, who helps her activate the key parts of her skills, this combo can be a double-edged sword. Tia's constant taunts might put her in harm's way, and if her cover gets destroyed, she permanently loses that attack damage buff. Plus, she's not the most flexible unit out there. You'll need to run a 2-1-2 formation to maximize her potential. Still, if you play your cards right and have the right team around her, Tia can totally dominate the battlefield. The crown. This powerhouse brings insane buffs to the table, especially for units that thrive on their burst skills. Imagine triggering massive attack damage buffs while enjoying those sweet reload speed boosts. It's like having infinite ammo at your fingertips. Plus, her ability to taunt while being invulnerable is just next level. She can hold down the front lines while dishing out damage like a boss. Oh, and let's not forget her camouflage sense for detecting enemies. It's a game changer. But here's the catch. You really need to be playing at 60 FPS to unlock her full potential. The 80k buff is specific to certain units, which is a bit of a bummer, and she doesn't bring any team-wide healing to the party. But hey, when you've got the best gacha skin in the game, who's complaining? Crown is a true gem in your lineup. Just remember to stack those buffs and watch the chaos unfold. Naga from Goddess of Victory Nikki. So, if you're looking for an amazing off-burst healer, Naga is your go-to gal. She's got this super unique buff that boosts damage dealt while attacking the core, which is a game changer, right? Plus, she doesn't just heal HP, she can cover heals too, making her an incredible support for her partner, Tia. When you team them up, they just elevate each other's survivability. Now, don't underestimate her offensive capabilities either. She can outshine bunnies when all her buffs are in play. But here's the kicker. Her buffs stick around across mob waves, unlike Blanc's debuffs, which is pretty neat. On the flip side, she does have some dependencies. She needs shielders like Tia, Aoife, Folkwang, or Arya to really unlock her full potential. And while she can deal solid damage, her core buff can get a little watered down depending on your team comp and the stage you're on. Not to mention, if you're not running her with Tia, her performance definitely takes a hit. You'll want to stick to that 2-1-2 formation for optimal results. So, while she may not be as versatile as some other options, when paired correctly, Naga can be an absolute powerhouse in your lineup. Alice. This girl brings some serious firepower with her amazing penetration damage, making her a solid choice for any team. Plus, her self-buff not only boosts her strength, but also keeps her healthy in the heat of battle. Talk about a win-win. She's a total hyper carry in late game content, which means if you invest in her, you're gonna see some epic results. But hey, she doesn't come without her quirks. She does require a bit of investment to unleash her full potential, and let's just say her decision making could use a bit of an upgrade. She's not exactly a genius. Still, toss her into most teams as a DPS, and she'll totally hold her own right out of the box. If you want a character that can grow into a beastly contender, Alice is your girl. Red Hood, seriously, this unit is absolutely insane. With the highest damage per Ascian in the game, she's a total beast. What makes her stand out even more is her unique ability to unleash her burst skill in any burst stage, which is a game changer. Not only can she be your main DPS, but she also doubles as a fantastic buffer. Imagine converting that excess charge speed into massive charge damage. Talk about efficient. Her unconditional pierce is perfect for tearing through clustered mobs, and with the largest 80k buff in Burst 1, she's a force to be reckoned with, despite that pesky 40-second cooldown. The large pierce radius means you'll hit multiple enemies with ease. Plus, she's got a taunt, lifesteal, and HP potency for those emergency situations, which is super handy. What's great is that you don't need to invest a ton into her to see results, unlike some other characters like Alice. She's got endless potential for campaigns and the Pilgrim Tower, but keep in mind that her burst skill has that 40-second cooldown and requires careful timing in stage 2 and 3. And let's not forget the zoomed in scope during her burst skill. Sometimes it's hard to spot those sneaky enemies, so if you're lucky enough to pull her from a special banner, consider yourself blessed because Red Hood is definitely a must-have for any serious player. Alright, let's dive into the powerhouse of the Goddess of Victory, Nikke Scarlet Black Shadow. This gal is a total beast when it comes to inflicting consistent damage, whether you're facing off against core bosses or tackling some tricky gimmicks like the Mother Whale or solo raid material. Seriously, she's ranked as one of the strongest DPS characters in the game, especially for boss fights. Plus, if you've got those boomer hands, you'll love how auto-friendly she is. The best part? If you pull her, you'll finally silence all those friends teasing you for being scarletless. But let's keep it real, she's a Pilgrim character, which makes snagging copies a bit of a grind outside of special banners, and while she's incredible, getting her fully optimal does require some serious skill investments, particularly on skill 2. Oh, and watch out for counters in PvP, Sakura can really give her a run for her money. Plus, if you find yourself dealing with too many enemies at once, her DPS can feel a bit scattered and unreliable. Just remember, moderation is key. Too much salt can be bad for your health. So if you're considering investing in Scarlet, know that you're picking one of the best, but be ready to put in the work. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.